All right, what's up guys? Back here with Cordell. First of all, I want to touch on something. We've got this YouTube channel and the goal behind it is to provide value, right? I don't care if this channel blows up. I don't care if this channel doesn't blow up. But what I do care, if one person watches one video or one thing that you say and it makes them drop weight, it makes them get healthier, makes them live longer, that's the goal behind this. If you pick up a book, if you start a business, it's not, yeah, exposure is good, and the more exposure we get, the more people we can help. But the goal is to help as many people as possible in our lane, which is fitness, entrepreneurship, things that we live and breathe. And there's a new stat that just came out from the CDC that 40% of Americans are obese. 40%. So that is pretty much half the population. That's not overweight, that's obese. And in my understanding, obese means over 30% body fat. Is that right?
It's around like 30. Oh yeah, over 35. Yeah. So
okay, so over 35% body fat puts you in the obese category. And by being obese, you're not going to live long. You're definitely going to get heart disease. You're definitely going to get stroke. You're definitely going to get cancer. You're going to get some type of crazy thing that you necessarily shouldn't have, right?
Right. And let's make it clear that obesity doesn't mean overweight. You have the overweight, then you have the obesity. So what would you say percentage-wise, with that being said, would be for overweight? Would you say it's like 60%?
It has to be 60, 70%.
Yeah, from what I've read, it was 65 plus.
I think it used to be 60%.
Yeah.
And I think 30% were obese, and now you're looking at probably 60 plus, maybe 70% overweight, which is still very unhealthy. And then you're going to 60%, 40% being obese. And then 20% of adolescents, 20% of teenagers are now obese. So it's only going to get worse, and it's getting much worse. It's very scary. And then I read something yesterday saying that 1 in 3 females will get cancer.
Yikes.
And I was like, damn, I'm so glad I'm not a female. And then the video continued. 1 in 2 males are going to get cancer. I was like, oh my God, I wish I was a female. So, and that's going back to diet. That is everything, right?
Being able to dictate that, you can actually definitely alter that decision regarding your body. It's not something that we already have predetermined. We have the ability to make that, an actual factor in our lives, or to actually not actually not have that be part of our lives. And most people in general are gonna be already, predisposed to, pre-diabetic, based off their eating and their lifestyle, and they don't really have direction as well. But the fact that it's increasing so rapidly, now kids are being affected, juvenile diabetes and juvenile obesity and juvenile overweight. It's not really, seems like something that's going to really decline anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's not, I think so many people caught up that like, oh, my destiny is I'm gonna be a diabetic, or it's just heart disease in my family, therefore I'm gonna get a heart attack. You can control it dramatically. I'm not saying you can 100% get rid of it, but I definitely think 80 to 90% of you can definitely change your circumstances. And that comes down to diet. And that's kind of what we want to touch on today. Is it's one thing to diet, it's one thing to change your lifestyle, it's one thing to try to lose weight, but it's measuring your results in a consistent, accurate, non-discourageable way. And that's what we want to touch on. So we want to touch on not using the scales, right?
Or using that D word either, I would say too.
Yeah, I'm so sick of saying the diet word, right? From now onwards, as lifestyle. We're changing our lifestyle.
That's the thing.
And by doing so, changing your lifestyle, trying to lose weight, using the scales isn't effective and isn't accurate because of so many different reasons. If you go from keto to eating carbs, you can jump 5 pounds. Doesn't mean you're any fatter.
That's very true.
And like my weight will literally fluctuate 5, sometimes 10 pounds in a day just from fasting. Females, when they get their period, they hold a lot more water. Different stresses in your body. What's some more examples?
Bad sleep.
Bad sleep being one, right?
If you didn't say already, stress as well is a big factor as well.
And these are reasons that your body will hold water, let go of water.
And that's a big key thing. You hop on the scale the next day and you maybe had a high stressful day, you had really bad sleep, or maybe you just finished keto, or you're going to a high carb, whatever it may be, something that's going to not dictate body fat, but the scale changes, that can really change your mood in a sense of, to where you maybe want to quit what you're doing or quit what you're pursuing. But I think the scale is something that people need to maybe shun away from. Same thing with the word diet, especially those who are not trying to be competitive, competitive athletes, competitive bodybuilders. And a lot of us follow those people, and that's fine. We look up to people like the Dwayne Johnson and all these celebrities and actors who look great, but when we're trying to actually do things in our everyday life and then actually look healthy as well, we have to actually kind of be more practical as well. So I think it's just like you always say too, just doing one thing at a time. A lot of us want to go from doing nothing at all to doing everything regarding weight loss approach and healthy lifestyle. So I think the scale is probably the worst thing you can start with. And
the worst thing, right?
Yeah, it's the worst thing.
So let's talk about the best things to use, and let's talk about the best things to use at home, which is free.
Yeah.
So the first thing comes to mind, what I used to do was a $2 tape measure. And I'd measure around my belly button, I'd measure around my hips, and I'd write it down in the fridge, and I would do that Monday morning of every week.
That's fair.
And that worked for me. And it's not going to say it works for everybody, but my belly button never moves, my hips never move. Therefore, I found it pretty accurate, and I could, if I was on track, I was dropping about 1 centimeter every week.
Right.
That's the way I did it.
Cool.
What's your thoughts on that, and what's something else that you kind of done?
That's a good idea. We can definitely say when it comes to females, when times that time of the month they might have that fluctuation.
So it might be inaccurate, right?
Yeah. So, but if they keep that in mind, or maybe avoid that taping during that time, which they might do. Hey, if you're starting pretty soon, avoid taping, and then wait till afterwards. That way you're not getting discouraged, and you have a more accurate reading, because you're going to have water naturally from their hormones increasing, like progesterone. So you're going to naturally maybe gain some inches in water, but it'll be temporary. Even if it's centimeters, people will still freak out. I put on 2 centimeters. It's still digression in their perspective. So if you can avoid those things, one thing that I like doing too, which can maybe even be the same thing when it comes to like a woman's menstrual, is I like taking progress photos. But what I would say is just take one.
Everyone's got a camera.
Yeah,
everyone's got a phone.
And it's your own progress photos. You don't have to post them on social media.
That's what I was going to get at. You don't have to go posting them. They're for you.
Yeah. So
it may be your coach if you got one, but nobody needs to see that photo.
Exactly. So it's a little more. This is something I have myself. Set up maybe a little tripod and do your own photos with what you want to wear and how you want to do at your own environment. That way you feel comfortable doing it, and you feel more comfortable doing it. That will make it more consistent. Something you look forward to doing, something you don't mind doing, and then that's a good way for accountability. And that can be the first step. Just taking progress photos to see if you're actually maintaining or progressing or degressing.
Yeah, and then if you got the scales, you got measurements, you got photos, now you start to see, hey, like scales didn't change, but the photo looks like a dramatic difference.
There you go.
The tape measure is still the same. But what oversees all of this, if you're eating clean on a consistent basis, don't stress about the rest of it.
Yeah.
It will happen, right? Yep. You cannot eat clean on a consistent basis and not lose weight eventually. Some weeks are going to be dramatic. Some weeks you might not see anything at all. Yep. But you're slowly chipping away on a consistent basis. Yeah. And for some reason you're not eating clean enough, right?
Something's going on with the eating, then you would just restructure what you're doing.
Yeah, and just refining, right?
And that comes into play too when you might want to seek someone who's a professional in that field, whether it be like a nutrition coach or like a nutritionist or a trainer.
Like hitting a plateau yourself, right? You've come this far by yourself, and now like, hey, I'm really kind of getting stuck. I could use someone who knows a little bit more than I do.
And I always advise that too. You're starting your own, goal, your own journey yourself to see what you can do for your own accountability. And a lot of us definitely can use, and all of us definitely need accountability, but it's cool to kind of start your own, journey yourself until you hit a plateau, and then you would reach out to a coach then, you'll be surprised how far you can get yourself.
So many people gone so far by themselves, right?
It's very cool. You see people lose 80, 200 pounds themselves, and they're just proud of the fact that they did it themselves. They know how to do it themselves and maintain themselves. Or people who have coaches, not that it's bad at all. People who have coaches, and essentially maybe the coach might hold their hand and do everything for them and with them, and then they lose the coach.
Not building their own wings, right?
Yeah, so it's back and forth. I can't say anything bad about either, but it's cool how we've seen people who have lost 100+ pounds themselves, and they have all those tools and things in their head, and they're going on and teaching people like themselves, how to lose weight, which is great. Which is awesome. Yeah.
Another thing too is the way your clothes fit.
Oh boy,
your clothes do not change. Your clothes are the most probably consistent thing that you have.
That's key.
So if all of a sudden like your shirt's starting to get real baggy or your pants are big, I've got shorts in my cupboard right now I can't wear without a belt because I've dropped 3-4 inches off my waist just by leaning up.
Exactly.
And I know for a fact that I'm skinnier because those damn shorts won't. I'll fold them 3 times and they still don't stay up. So your clothes are an amazing way of measuring.
That's a fact. Yeah, especially ladies. Ladies, you know, they have their dresses they want to be able to fit into, or
it's very like tight fitted, right?
Yeah, and they notice that okay, I can put this on now. Okay, I definitely have lost weight because before I couldn't even get it up. Now
or you're wearing clothes you never used to be like clothes you're wearing when you're 20, you're now 30, you can fit back into.
Correct. Yeah.
That's a good sign too.
Totally, and it's motivating.
And as a guy, like we get our clothes get looser, but you don't really notice it too much.
Yeah.
You notice in your pants, but a lot of us got up drawstrings and. But yeah, like you said, the female is a good sign.
For them, definitely.
Is there anything else you can do at home? So we've got scales we don't encourage too much, the way your clothes fit, using a tape measure, taking photos. Is there anything else that you can do at home that you recommend?
Yeah, if it's just more so just starting things out, you know, in the kitchen, you know, if you're doing things in the kitchen, you can always start maybe doing meal prep, you know, doing your own, even if it's prepping one thing, you're prepping a salad for yourself every day, you know, not doing an entire meal prep where you're making your protein, your fats and carbs, just something that you're prepping every day, maybe your breakfast. I have people who are starting out, and I say if you want to get in the meal prep, just do one meal a day you prep every day. Your breakfast, prep your breakfast before you go to bed. In the morning, eat your breakfast or take it with you to work and you have that meal prepped. That way you can be consistent with that. Because a lot of us don't even eat breakfast, not because we want to fast necessarily, just because we don't have time or we just don't have that, you know, instilled in our mind yet. We're used to going to the drive-thru or we're used to eating, you know, Grubhub or Uber Eats. So if you actually can do like overnight oats, you know, that's when people are getting, it's been out for a while, but people are getting more popular and it's on social media and TikTok, the overnight oats where you make your own oatmeal essentially before you go to bed and you put it in the refrigerator and it's made for you. So
prepping.
So it's like a meal prep, but it's a cool way because you can add your own oats to it. You add your oats, you can add milk to it, you can add your own fruit to it, you can add protein to it, and you literally can different flavors.
Ahead, aren't you?
And then you're making it fun and you're thinking ahead, and there's no reason not to have breakfast then. It's already prepped 2-3 days ahead. You know? You can do it with your kids as well. They can make it together with your mom and your dad, and it's a cool way to do it. And then that's that one meal you have knocked out at least. And then you can maybe make a healthy choice at work, come home from your day and make your dinner, and boom, you're done.
It's kind of done, I like that. And then recently we just got our test done with Poya. Shout out to Poya. So that test was called, what was the test called?
The eVolt test. It's like the InBody for those who know about that. It's a way to, it's like a scan of your entire body.
It's kind of like the top of the line. It's like a $10,000 machine.
It's fancy. Yeah.
You stand on with no shoes. You grab the sensors, and it literally will measure your height, weight, water, body fat, muscle, body fat percentage.
It's very encouraging too because you can kind of see where you're at and you can see where you want to be and you know what you need to work on. You can kind of pinpoint what you want to work on based off the scan, and it's an app too that it gets you download and you can see your progress and the scans download to your phone. So it's an easier way to kind of have the accountability as well. So.
It's a good wake up call, isn't it? Like, I thought I was here, I thought I was there, and it's like, nope, this is what you are.
Exactly.
This is where you are. Take it or leave it, but this is fact.
Yeah.
And so like we did it, and now we did that on Monday this week.
Right.
So now we can go back in 2 weeks' time, or we can go back in 4 weeks and do the same test. And now see if we're plateaued, we've moved forward, we've moved backwards, add more muscle, lost body fat, bit of both. And you know, like if you're eating clean and you go back in a month, you know you're going to move forwards.
Yeah, and it's exciting to know that.
Yeah, it's exciting to know that. But if you know you've kind of half-assed it, it's a good word, you're going to get like Byron always says, you're going to get half-assed results.
I like that.
I like that. So you've got that test that costs $40 to get the test.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which I mean, $40 once a month isn't bad to get accurate measurements, and you can still do everything at home. But then you've got the InBody test, right? Which is, I think it's an $8,000 machine. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Like five to eight, depending on the model.
Okay. Which like I think Smashine has, right?
Most gyms have that one. I think even like the higher end ones, like what's higher, Lifetime Fitness, they have that there too as well. It's the more popular one. I think the eVolt's like a new one that's trying to come up and be and outperform.
Okay.
Not sure your thoughts on the eVolt compared to the InBody. I like the eVolt a little more. I like how it gives you recommendations and a little more like your biological age as well. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. It gave my biological age was 39. I'm 42. But I mean, 3 years, I'll take it.
It's encouraging.
It's better than not. It's better than 45, right?
It could be 50. You're like, okay,
I'll take it.
My life?
How accurate it is, I don't know, but it's encouraging. It's exciting, like you said.
Key word. It's like something you look forward to. Man, I'm actually 5 years younger than actually.
What was yours?
I think mine was 29, I want to say, right? Yeah.
So you dropped, what are you, 34?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you dropped a good few years too, which is, I mean, that's awesome. It's just good to know that. If I know I'm living till I'm 75, I know I'm living till I'm 80 now, or whatever it is. So I think the Embody is generally $20.
Depending on where you go, the InBody that I was going to and I have at most places like $60 actually.
Does it really?
The reason why I think is because it's such a like a household name regarding gyms. Everyone uses the InBody, so they figure it's more prestige. And the Evolt, you know, it's not very known. Like I didn't really know about Evolt until Boyo.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm glad I know what it is now because I think it's a pretty badass machine.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, so you can, if you do have the money, or you can. I recommend justifying taking that extra step, and getting the professional thing. So just to kind of wrap it up, don't get caught up on the scales, because I can personally tell you, I've dropped a dramatic amount of body fat. My weight hasn't changed. My weight fluctuates 5 up to 10 pounds per day. I'll go from keto into carbs, my weight jumps up. When you go from carbs to keto, you must pee out like 3 pounds of water.
Easy.
It's stupid, the amount of water you lose.
And it's good. The scale goes down. I get so excited. So
it's very encouraging, but I know it's water. I know it's nothing but water.
It's water though.
And then you're talking about progress photos. Like you said, you don't have to post them anywhere, but just take them for yourself.
That's the thing, and that's that. You can even have it to where you have it printed out and have it on your wall in your own mirror, in your own
accountability for yourself, right?
And you're looking at that every morning, like, okay, definitely gonna eat healthy today.
And then talking about using a $2 tape measure as another way of doing it. And then last of all, just the way your clothes fit.
That's key. So.
And I know you'll probably heard this too. Like when you do lose weight, what's the biggest thing that you get? That's probably the biggest compliment that really gives you that motivation. It's when someone else notices it, right? And a lot of people won't say anything. They won't say anything for a long time, and all of a sudden, like, someone's, have you lost weight? Like, well, actually, I have. I've been dieting. So that's you will hear that if you're on the right track. So yeah, that's kind of our sum up on that. I'm not saying don't use the scales, but don't get caught up on the scales. And I know there's better ways of doing it.
A lot of ladies, they love the scales, but it's very discouraging, it's very inaccurate. Especially ladies now, they're trying to build butts and build muscle, and that's going to be
that's the thing too, right? Like muscle weighs twice as much as fat. So
I'd say if we're going to do the scale, do the Evolt or InBody.
Yeah, so you get an accurate measurement. Cool, guys. Let us know your thoughts.
Thanks, guys.